Good morning. I hope everybody's okay. This is Vladi and this is Start Your Day with Positive Mind. Today we're talking about law of relativity. Now, as we talked before, there are these laws which govern the universe, and if you live in harmony with them and you understand how you're using them, if you actually choose to use them right, then everything you do and choose is just going to be perfect. Now, perfect for you, of course. And law of relativity just is. Energy just is, and there is nothing is big, nothing is small, unless you compare it to something. So, as we discussed before, the laws all these laws are related to each other and they correspond with each other. So, what I would say is if you're thinking, oh, I'm having a bad day, then relative to what? There are millions of people who are having far worse day than you. So always try it and relate to a certain situation and see the good in absolutely everything you do and have. Now, if you imagine there are people living in the parts of around the world who have no food, they have no technology to use to educate the children, and like in the situations which we are at now, we would sort of say, oh, including myself, I found a homeschooling at sort of a little bit challenging last week. This week is going really well, but every time you really get frustrated, just think, stop and breathe. It's just take a deep 5 breath and say, okay, and try and imagine situation worse. Make it worse. And then you realize how lucky you are. So what we do need to work is focus on seeing good in everything and everyone and be grateful constantly. And this is not just being grateful if somebody gives you something, but this is living in a gratitude. You're grateful for the life that is breathing in you. You're grateful for where you are, who you're with, for people who are like-minded, whoever helps you, whoever makes you happy, for little things that really make your soul happy. Always say thank you. And if you focus on the gratitude, that is actually the main part of you seeing good in everything. And that relates directly to law of relativity. So Michael Beckwith, I've heard him, he had these 3 steps and he said, it is what it is, accept it. You're not going to change it. It's like with the pandemic. It is what it is. You don't have any control over it. Accept it. Now harvest the good. So you only focus on the good things in everything and everyone. Even if you think this situation is just horrendous, find good things, write it down. Writing triggers your thinking and it changes your thinking. Writing is crucially important, actually. And the 3rd step was forget all the rest. So let it go. You will not be able to solve the situation. And what people actually, this is the point where I see lots of people, even if they kind of try and accept it and harvest the good, they can't let go. They will constantly talk about it. And the energy you give to something negative or something you do not want, let me repeat, energy you give to something you do not want, you attract. So if you giving energy to something you don't want and something you don't like, you're attracting more of it, because universe doesn't differentiate whether it's good or bad. It's your thinking. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to manifest into your life. And you have to take responsibility that if something bad happens, look, why did it happen to me? And you need to find, sometimes we are sent, it's only these situations which are challenging. When we overcome, we learn something. Well, not everybody, unfortunately. In fact, not many people just ignore it and do not learn. Why did it happen? There was this message for me. Something has to change and I need to take a responsibility and change it. And what it is like, when somebody, I quit my job and it was just beginning, it was a year ago nearly, and it was just beginning of the pandemic. And people go like, oh, but you can't do this because in pandemic, and people are finding conditions and circumstances and problems and excuses why they can't move forward. But think of everything that happens. It's your stepping stone going up or forward. because you have to learn and move forward with the good thinking. You have to overcome it. And it's, I wanted to read a paragraph, something, well, Bob teaches us, because I study Science of Getting Rich with him, where he goes deep into the laws, which is absolutely amazing program. And it says, when you relate something you do that you are not proficient at to something another person does, they have mastered, you will not look good. Now you are using the law against yourself. Now listen, you're using it against yourself, because you need to begin to use this law, heighten your self-esteem. So it is your thinking that makes it bad or good, and you can use this into your favor. And so if you want to study the laws of hire, you can look at the Proctor Gallagher's Institute, and I think nobody actually else in the world explains this in a much depth. And he works with Mary Morrissey. Bob Proctor works with Mary Morrissey on the laws as well. So there are various courses, and I would just recommend everyone in the world to understand this, because your life, financial, love, relationship, work, whatever it is, will massively improve by understanding the laws. And sorry, today is a little bit a longer session, but I'll see you tomorrow with another law. Bye. Have a great day.